how did you end up where you're doing what you're doing now?
That would go back to being a kid probably. But my dad was a handyman, so I'm actually second generation handyman. But I totally followed a lot of things that he did as far as work or a trade. So when I was, without telling the entire story, I'll shorten it. He welded. I went into welding. He went in. He did millwright work. I did that at a point in my life, and in all the same factories too. It was really wild. I actually got to work with my dad at a point, but he didn't end with handyman stuff because I can't talk him into it yet, but I will. So maybe, but he's retired now, and he's like 65, I think. So I keep trying to get him to do it on the side, but just got to get the right job up in his area, I guess. But I would say it was definitely that, being around it. There's a lot of it that I caught without realizing it. That as soon as I started putting my hands towards that, it fit really well and was really fulfilling. And because being around him, he had trained my eye to things that I didn't know was happening. So like home improvement stuff or fixes on my own home. When we were in Kentucky, I worked like 60 hours a week in the steel mill. So I was like, didn't have time to do things. So I would try to hire somebody to do it. And then I would like not let them finish it because I was unsatisfied with their work. And I'm like, no, I could do this better. And I don't do that as a profession. So I would then take it on the weekends and do it myself to save money and have a better product in the end. So wanting to bring that to people, because it seems that it's just kind of been muddied as far as craftsmanship. So wanting to bring people's dreams to life started with my wife, by the way. She's like, can you do this? And I'm like, yeah, I could do that. And I figure it out on YouTube or something, maybe the first time, and then figure it out as I went at our house, and she was always just like blown away by what I could do. And I'm like, huh. And so when we moved to Tennessee and I got out of like the world of factories and I guess normal jobs, I don't know. I was working for myself and I had a welder, and my truck broke down, so I got into framing. So I started framing with this old guy. Yeah, and he was just phenomenal. This guy, he was in his late 50s, very rough life, so he was just kind of falling apart. But the guy, just the character that he had and the knowledge that he had was incredible. And he was the kind of guy that was like, he's like, you're my hands and I'll be the mind, I'll tell you what to do. So with that, just funneling through me, like, gave me the know-how and paying attention to things. Yet again, because if I put something in the wrong spot that it wasn't supposed to be there, he made me fix it. And even if I thought it wasn't a big deal or it wasn't actually a big deal, it's like, gotta make sure it's right. And so that's also stuck with me, to where I think my expectations are higher than most homeowners on projects. They're like, no, it looks fine. And I'm like, no, we got to fix this. Or this didn't work out the way that it's supposed to, so I got to do something different or something. But yeah, but that's kind of with some things like, I guess if you're kind of working backwards through something because there's something wrong with the house, then you're not necessarily going the way that it's built. Like with this, if you do the floors, then you do the trim, things like that. But then if you got a floor issue, you're going straight to the floor and you're tearing baseboards and stuff. But in any case, working backwards and re-engineering stuff. So, but yeah, did that answer your question?